Meragali Nichta. No matter where in this wild, wacky, and sometimes wonderful world you might be, thank you for making the Highbury Squad part of your day. It is the eve of the Champions League, and everyone is still buzzing from the North London derby. And whilst we're lauding our players, is there really an X factor that everyone is missing? Let's rock and roll with one of my favourites. Here we go, squaddies.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.
Also, welcome to our listeners on Apple and Spotify and wherever you do your audio listening. Don't forget to subscribe so you do not miss an episode. If you're visiting here for the first time and are not subscribed, do the same, please. Most of you who will be listening on replay, make sure to leave your comments in the YouTube comments section as per the direction of our Chief Like Officer, Tammy Steels. He's back at Squad Central. It's been a while. The legend, the funny man, Mr. Ian Stone, host of Handbrake Off.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good. I mean, if you're an Arsenal fan, how can you not be having a good week?
I'm sort of floating, really. I mean, really the last few months, for the most part, I've been floating. I feel like I'm on some sort of gossamer thread that's just keeping me, just my feet are just barely touching the ground. That's how it feels to be an Arsenal fan at the moment, because that's how I am.
I love it. Good evening, squaddies at ease. Welcome. Don't forget to hit that like button. So you weren't concerned, seeing as you brought it up, because and then I want your take on the NLD before I get stuck into tonight's subject with you. No concerns at the start of the season where a lot of people were falling off a cliff a little bit post Liverpool, you know, ranting and raving. Now, when you see Liverpool and the way they've played and who's beaten them, you think, damn it, bloody hell, we should have annihilated them. You kept even keeled throughout.
Yeah, pretty much. But yes, I think so. It's in hindsight. I'm thinking back. I'm thinking, no, of course. I always thought this would work out for the best. But I think in the main, I was keeping it, for some perspective, because Look how close we got in the last few years, and look how much he's strengthened the squad. And I had faith. That this would come good, and it was disappointing at Liverpool. It was, because but it was a worldie. It was a worldie, and you go, okay, that happens sometimes. In hindsight, when we look at what's happened since, we go, yeah, we should have gone at them, but it was so early in the season. We got away with it at Manchester United as well. So it wasn't. We knew we weren't going to hit the ground running, in the first game. Or at least I felt that. But I also looked at the squad and thought, my God, there's 2 players for every position, and we are so strong. And we were a point away 2 seasons ago, weren't we? Or 2 points behind Man City, and we won 16 out of the last 18 games, didn't we? And drew 1. And I thought, my God, what an unbelievable achievement to do that. And we didn't quite win the title because City were just immense. But I look at that team, and I look at the team we've got now and the squad we've got now, and I go, this is much stronger than that. And we could go on a 25-game, 30-game unbeaten run. No problem. Because this is what I thought. And right now I'm looking at it and going, well, we could.
Yeah. I was saying that the other day, and didn't kind of, bite when I was being goaded by a couple of the TalkSport guys. But I feel like this is our strongest squad in any of the seasons recently where we've challenged, Ian. And I want to get to this at the end, because I want to get your take on, were you there for the North London derby?
No, I was watching it on, I was in a place near Stockton-on-Tees, about to do a gig in the Arm is where I was, but I watched the whole game, and then I left and I entertained people, and I was happy to. That's where I was. But I was there. Of course I was there. If you know what I mean.
I mean, we're all there in spirit, right? Yeah. So, I mean, do you know what I hate a lot? And I don't hate, but when the narrative after is about what the losing team didn't do, and you get that a lot mostly when there's a David v Goliath situation. It's like today, it's all about Manchester United's meltdown again. By the way, their title challenge push is officially over, Ian. Instead of focusing on what Everton did in a balmy situation, I mean, they have a fight. They're down to 10 men. They're Old Trafford. They haven't won there in 350 years.
Yeah.
And the focus is on, Manchester United. And again, the narrative, because no one wants to give Arsenal any credit really, is how shit Tottenham are and how that's probably their worst North London derby in years. But we were is it not fair to say that we just made them look shit?
Well, of course. And by the way, I think Arsenal are getting plenty of praise. I mean, I'm watching it, by the way. I'm endlessly consuming content where people say nice things about us. Gary O'Neill on Monday Night Football the other day. Wayne Rooney the other day. Tim Sherwood through gritted teeth the other day. Even Jamie, what's his name? Jason
Cundy.
Not Jason Cundy, the other one. The one, the Tottenham fan.
O'Hara.
Jamie O'Hara. Even Jamie O'Hara. They can't help it because we are pretty awesome at the moment. And we got, as I say, 2 players for every position. And we absolutely battered Tottenham without Martin Odegaard, Kai Havertz, Gabriel Jesus, Gabriel. Who else was missing? A couple of others as well. Madueke.
Well, he was on.
Martinelli was on the bench. All those players weren't even playing. Ethan Waneri got him for a bit. Max Downwell wasn't even playing. I mean, we are so strong. And yeah, we did embarrass them, but they embarrassed themselves, to be honest with you. They turn up and play like that in a North London derby.
Glorious.
I mean, they are a ridiculous team. Let's be fair. They're ridiculous. Last year, they were attacking too much. This year, they're not attacking enough. What do you want then, lads? What is to dare is to do? Well, it isn't what they did the other day. Now, listen, can we swear on this?
Yeah.
They're shit, right? They're utter shit. And they know it. I know they're missing a few players. That being said, they are no match for us. I mean, Mickey van der Ven might get in our squad, right? And that's it. Maybe Kudus, and that's it, really. I mean, might get in our squad, but they wouldn't get in our first team. So we are better than them, and then we can bring on better subs than them. What chance have they got? Yeah, we were great, but we're definitely one of the best 2 or 3 teams in Europe, right? We know it.
100%.
We know it. And more than that, the boys know it as well. Can I talk to you about something tonight? About faith? Can I talk about faith?
Yeah. Oh, are you going to do the Jesus thing and, like
do
religion?
The Jesus thing?
Yeah. No. Yes. Go ahead. This is going to go all over the place, guys, because go on. I want to hear what you have to say about it because.
Well, faith is really fueling what's happening, I think, at the club. I mean, I really think that. I mean, we know that some of the boys are committed Christians, right? We know it. And you can see with Eze, what happened with Eberici Eze at the weekend was really something like a bit beyond the regular. He got a hat-trick in the North London derby, and you see him looking up afterwards. And that is faith going on there, right? I'm absolutely certain that Bukayo Saka feels it as well. I'm sure there's quite a lot of others. And I'm interested in it from you asked me right at the start whether I was a bit doubtful, like when we lost to Liverpool, and maybe it won't work out. But I think these boys have such faith in their ability, and I think we just have to jump along for the ride. That's what I think about this. I mean, listen, football's an era, so I come to a religious experience anyway, right? I mean, I've told this story, right? I've told this story because when last year in a show I did, I was talking about how when Miles Lewis-Skelly got the 3rd goal in the 5-1, right? And we knew we'd won it against Manchester City. And then he does Haaland's celebration in front of him. And 57,000 people sing it, "Stay humble, you." And I really felt that was the nearest I come to a religious experience, right? I mean, it was a vengeful religious experience, but nonetheless, it felt quite real to me. And I'm feeling this faith in the team more and more. I'm not a religious person at all. But I'm just saying.
It's incredible that you bring this up because I was talking about this after the post-game show, during the post-game show, and I deleted the slide because I had a slide where it was all the players who have some type of connection spiritually with whatever religion it is, whether you're a Christian, whether you're Muslim, whatever. There is something flowing through the team from, Saliba to Timber to Saka to Eza, to Big Gabby. And, I did this show a few weeks ago, Ian, and I'd love to know your take, because I feel for a while we had been living in this Arsenal matrix, right? And people were selling us what they believed us to be. But we really wanted to kind of believe whatever the truth is, and in pursuit of the truth and belief, kind of like Neo. And you just mentioned something, because with the faith thing, and I feel like we've lacked some faith, and I'm not religiously now, over the last few seasons, where we believe, but do we truly believe? Because that line from the film, "Don't think you are, know you are." And I believe right now they know they are destined for something. And Mikel has been Morpheus, right? And the players have been Neo.
My God.
Blue pill, red pill.
Is it so? When'll be the point? I mean, maybe it was Real Madrid last season when the bullets were sort of stopped just in front, and he's just looking at them. Right, they've all frozen, and everyone's going, "He is the one," right? And maybe they did like that last year, but I think we need to. We're getting very close to it. We're getting very close to that point where they truly believe. I think that they do essentially believe, but they need to get over the line, and I think that is the quest now for them to understand themselves, to understand what they feel. It's hard to talk about this, but I wanted to talk about it because it's quite emotional for me to think about it, because everyone's been on a journey, and I'm sure they feel the same way. And this season feels like there's something else going on. That was my point. And I agree with you entirely, by the way. Yeah, it does feel a bit like that.
It's all these lines from the film resonated with me. For those listening on audio, I'm putting them up for Ian now, because I know he loves this kind of stuff. It's like, free your mind. I feel like we've done that. I know Kung Fu. We're physical, the shithousery, the dark arts, guns, lots of guns. We've got assets up front, players shining who some fans wanted gone in the summer. Ignorance is bliss. And I say this with respect, in that you could have said whatever you wanted about Arsenal, but the path that the owners had, like Josh in particular, Berta coming in, but Mikel kind of ignoring all of the noise, and then the "don't think you are, know you are" angle. And when I was talking to you on the phone a couple of weeks ago, we started having a chat, and I presented a notion to you, and I thought, all right, I can't wait to talk to Ian about this, because you mentioned the players in the North London derby. Eza had his seminal moment. Saka's just been brilliant. Declan Rice is godly.
What?
And we'll get to all of that again, because it'll circle back to them. But I think the X factor this season is Mikel.
Yeah.
And I believe, and maybe it's because there's not as much stress right now or pressure, and I say that so loosely because there always is as Arsenal manager.
You've got Bayern Munich tomorrow.
Yeah.
Let's not forget.
I know. But I think there's an energy, that same faith that you feel flowing. Yeah. There's an energy to this team, and it has to start from somewhere. It's good for him to have emotion, but he's been too emotional. Yes. What would you say if I said to you that this season, if we're going to succeed and if we're going to win, he's the X factor? He controls everything from managing the injuries, time in-game management, all of that. What would you say if I said that? And that's truly what I believe.
Well, it is all him, to be fair. No one is doing anything at that club that he doesn't like. It's all what he wants. I mean, obviously he's discussing it with people, and he has close advisors who will talk to him. But that club he is the club now, isn't he? Really? Remember they made him manager instead of coach as well, because they understand. But he's got connections with everyone. I think you're right. It all flows through him. And this year, he's calmer, isn't he? He is calmer than he has been. 3 years ago when we were first going for the title, we expended so much emotional energy And obviously we melted down at the end, and Aaron Ramsdale had that mess up against Southampton, and we expended too much emotional energy. Whereas this year, in fact, through the last 3 or 4 years, we're expending less and less. I think Mikel calmed down quite considerably in the last season, but with the odd Newcastle-shaped meltdown, perhaps, or that was maybe 2 seasons ago. But now he seems like he's at the point where he knows exactly what needs to be done. And more than that, he's convinced everyone else what needs to be done, from Josh up the top, right the way through the hierarchy to the pit crew and all the people who are surrounding him and the players. They've all bought in. We watched Ethan Nwaneri in the 89th minute the other week, chasing back and defending. We watched them in the last minute, didn't we? Away at, I can't remember where the game was when they all
Burnley.
There was Burnley. That's right, in the 94th minute, and they all ran back and to defend. Everyone in that club is on board, and so to answer your question, he's a special talent, and I think as much as the team is growing, he's growing as well. And I hopefully, which will reach a crescendo, at least the first of many crescendos at the end of this season, because I think it's about more than just this season at this point. I think these boys, William Saliba could have gone to Real Madrid. He decided to stay with us because he believes in the project. That means he wants to be there for the next 2, 3, 4 years. Bukayo Saka is obviously not going anywhere, right? He wants to be with us because they all believe now. And when those sort of players decide that they want to stay at the club, it gives everyone such a lift. I think I think it goes back to the belief we were talking about. They all believe it, and they all believe it because of Mikel. And maybe he doesn't get enough credit, but he'll get the credit at the end when we win something.
He will. And I feel like there's a little Tony Robbins in him, right? Sell the pain, provide the solution. And
sorry, who's Tony Robbins? I'm sorry.
Tony Robbins, he's like a guru.
Oh, right. And that's what he says. Sell the pain. What?
Sell the pain, provide the solution. And of course, he's made millions and millions providing the solution for people. But right. I think Mikel is really good at selling the pain to the players, because there's one thing feeling the pain after not winning the league, right? Going out in the semi-final of the Champions League. And sports, and every manager or coach will tell you, they use the adversity to fuel the athlete, no matter, what the discipline is and stuff. But I think Mikel, maybe like George Graham, and you've been around for that era as well, Ian, is I think there's one thing to sell the pain, but how do you provide the solution? And for me, I think he started within himself, a little bit like that book, Who Moved My Cheese, a parable, which is like little stories that then show you how to kind of try to deal with stress in life so you can enjoy life. And it feels like he's enjoying being Arsenal manager right now. I feel like he's enjoyed being Arsenal manager, Ian, but this season it feels like he's really enjoying being Arsenal manager. And it's all those nuances, like, he's a good coach. Tactically, he's really good. But this is a pivotal season. So how has he taken all of that pain, and what solution has he provided? And I feel like, not to steal your show title, but everyone was moaning about the handbrake, take the handbrake off. I think he's been masterful the way he's managed the process so far. What do you make of what I just said? And I said a lot of probably a bunch of nonsense, but
no. This project is fueled by pain. I mean, it is. Of course, it is. We can't really look at this season in isolation because what Mikel has done, taken us from where we were in 2018 or whatever it was, and he's taken us to this point. You have to look at all the stuff that's gone before and go, so that didn't work there. So what do we do? Well, we'll try this. And then that didn't work. And then what do we need to do? We'll try this. And because he's managed to convince everyone to go in the same direction. You know, I mean, Aaron Ramsdale's a good example. He absolutely watched it. Al Davis said to me, right, he said he watched Aaron Ramsdale in that game against Southampton. He went, we need a new goalkeeper, right? He said he wouldn't have even slept that night. He said, Mikel, we need a new goalkeeper. And he went and bought David Raya. There was a lot of people complaining about David Raya, but everyone now thinks he's a great goalkeeper, right? He provided a solution. But it was the pain that did it, right? And I think this is all the way through this project up to last season when we had all those injuries that killed us, all of those injuries. And he said, you know what, finishing second with all those injuries and getting the semi-final of the Champions League, that was a great achievement. And it was. But at the same time, he went to the board and he went, you need to give me a shit ton of money, right? I need cover in this position, right? And the board, and they got Andrea Berta in, who obviously absolutely knew what he was doing. And they gave him the money and he spent the money beautifully. And so that is the pain again of losing Jurrien Timber for an entire season, or losing, any striker. We needed to spend some money. So now he's had buy-in from upstairs as well. I think he always did, to be honest with you. He convinced them. The first time he went to the interview, he got interviewed for the job before Unai Emery. And they said, we can't employ this child to manage our football club, but at the same time, fucking hell, he's unbelievable. But then he came back again after Unai didn't work out, and they went, go on then. So I think they had buy-in anyway. Plus Josh is a fan. So all of the elements have been put into place season by season, brick by brick. This season and the next 4 or 5 seasons, we're going to see the consequence of that, right? We're going to see the consequence of that. And I when we played a game where we didn't quite, like the Liverpool game, I think we were talking about.
Yeah.
When we didn't quite believe at that point. If we went to Liverpool now, we'd beat them. We'd beat them by a couple because they're fragile and we'd know exactly what to do. We would push up much harder, much quicker, and we'd beat them. Whereas in the third game of the season, we weren't quite ready to do that yet. But in the ensuing 10 games, plus all the rest of it, they've grown, winning at Newcastle. And now we're going to see some. I mean, I truly believe that we're going to see something special. I'm so excited. Like I say, it's come back to what I said. I'm floating, really. I'm floating. And I got a mate who keeps saying to me, keep the lid on it, right? And I get it, right? And I phoned him up the other day. He goes, where are you? I said, I'm outside the town hall. I'm waiting for the parade. What's happening? It's a bit chilly to me. I haven't even put the barriers up yet, right? Obviously, the whole thing's ridiculous. But at this point, I think everyone, and this goes to the crowd as well, everyone's got to be all in, because we'll never see. This is the best squad we've had since the Invincibles, right? Might even be better just because of the fact we've got 4 more. I mean, we haven't got a Bergkamp and Henry, but we've got close. So, yeah, I'm unbelievably excited. And I think the manager has everything to do with that. Everything. I love him. Can't believe what he's done for our club.
Yeah, I wasn't. No, not at all. I love it because we may have talked about this before, but I was not an early adopter, right?
No,
I used to argue a lot with Super Kev on the show, and Super Kev wouldn't have it. He was, he always said, he goes, just wait till he has his own players. And I truly have always been a believer in a manager having a team in his image, right? And I'm not sure the team was fully in his image in the improbable season in 22-23. Was it 22-23, 23-24?
Yeah,
it just wasn't yet.
It wasn't. Rambo was one, but there were a few others as well. Yeah, absolutely true.
And now I feel like there's this fluidity, there's this, smells like team spirit. I don't know, Ian, because for me, it's like, I have seen this before, but I haven't quite seen this before.
Yeah, no, you haven't seen this before. You haven't. What happened with Arsene Wenger was unbelievable, but those players were superstar players, quite a lot of them, or became superstar players. when they came in. Dennis Bergkamp came in. I mean, he was a superstar player. This is not the way this team has evolved. It's evolved in a different way. Robert Pires was an unbelievable footballer when he came in. This is different. This is a team growing. And we, you know, we're watching them grow in front of our eyes. And it's a thrilling thing that I don't think we have experienced. I mean, 80, 89, that team is closer, in fact, watching a team grow in front of us. But I don't know. The Invincibles was different. And also we're living it. So it's hard to get our heads around what we're actually watching. It appears we're watching one of the best teams we've ever had. That's what it appears to us. But it's hard. That doesn't seem rational to say that. No, we've had the Invincibles. But it does appear that these guys can do absolutely anything. We will see.
Do you think the connection is different because we feel like we have a relationship with them on social media, or we follow them? They let us in just a little bit. But do you also feel like there's more of a connection because of Hayland as well? I mean, of course, we had Rocky, and, you know, there's been a lot of stars that have come through. You know, Jack Wilshere. It just so happened Jack kind of played in a good and shit team all at the same time. You've got Dowman coming through. You mentioned him earlier. Do you feel like Declan Rice, to me, I was saying on the show yesterday, that he feels like he didn't even play for West Ham. It feels like he came out of Hayland.
Yeah.
And I don't mean this by any disrespect, anyone around the world, but being a North London girl from Palmer's Green, aka Palmer's Greek, I bloody love that you've got a core of English players in this side.
I felt the same way. I was thinking the same way the other day. I was thinking the same way about the fact that, you know, Declan Rice is playing and Bukayo Saka is playing and Ethan's there and Miles is there and Max Dowman is there. There's a real connection with Hayland. Yes. I mean, I understand what you're saying about Declan Rice, who, by the way, is definitely, we got him half price. We did. He's unbelievably good. But anyway, and I think, by the way, that he's the one player that if we lost, that would put a kink in things.
I was going to ask you what your greatest fears are.
Yeah, it's Declan Rice. I mean, at this point, it's Declan Rice. I want him to stay well, but he seems like a healthy boy, looks after himself, as they all do. So, you know, we just hope for the best. But yes, the connection with Hayland, yeah, of course, it adds to it. I think it adds to the whole thing. These guys support the club as much as we do. Really, they live and die with it. So to have that, you know, I was reading about Wolves the other day, how there wasn't a single English guy in the Wolves team, and while we've had teams like that, we have had teams, and I have absolutely no problem with anything like that. I like the fact that there are core boys, English boys, but also boys who've been with us for a long time. You know, Bukayo was 8. He was 8. You know, so no one's going, why isn't Bukayo signed? Because we know he's our player. I mean, you know, and you see like the videos that Wrighty does with these boys and how Eze feels now. Eze's our boy. He was at Hayland. You know, he went away, found himself, and then he came back. You can see what it meant to him. And you can see what it meant to him the other day. I think it adds to it. I think it adds football, like any team sport, is such a sort of mix of ingredients. And right now, there's really nothing I can criticize about the way they're going about their business, top to bottom, and it's a thrill to watch. And I think people should just go, yeah, go on then, go and do something magical for us, because it's been a while.
You know, the other thing too is we've had really great international players come into the mix before, and like you said, there was a time when we didn't field any English players. I mean, there was a time where it was just Ray Parlour, or it was just, you know, Jack Wilshere, or whoever. I agree with Gunnar Russ, by the way, who is a seasoned Arsenal fan, much like us. Congratulations on his recent retirement earlier this year, Ian. But I think this is that 91 team, we talk about it a lot. We used to talk about it a lot with Super Kev as well. Probably one of the most underrated Arsenal, maybe outside of Arsenal, but they were a brilliant team. You know, the almost invincibles, the teamwork, the best since 1991. And I wanted to talk about teamwork because we had Kevin, and again, it goes back to Mikel being the X factor. circling back to that, as great as these players are, the homegrown, the ones that have come in. Kevin Hatchard was on the show before we even got to the semi-final of the Champions League. We were talking about talent in Europe. We were touching on Nketiah and a few others. And he said to me at the time, he goes, Soph, Arsenal are the best team off the ball in Europe. And I was like, Europe? I mean, maybe in the Premier League, but in Europe. And I think he and others felt like we could have beaten PSG. I mean, we could have. I mean,
Donnarumma had a brilliant game.
He
Two
did.
brilliant games.
He was.
Not an Odegaard shot. I mean, that's going in against any other goalkeeper in the world, I think. Or maybe David Raya, but that's about it. It's a great save.
And also any other day, Saka coming back from being out for a while buries that chance, right? With a little bit rusty maybe. But this work rate, so it's again the combos, Ian. You've got the talent, you've got a system, you've got the camaraderie, the team spirit, the work rate you talked as well. But the concept of us being the best team in Europe off the ball, I think it's X factors like that Mikel has instilled this ethos into this team that will kind of help maybe yield different results this season.
Yeah, absolutely that. They ran 9 kilometers more than Tottenham at the weekend. And they work so hard. They don't want to let in a goal. They play for each other. The Invincibles, they used to stand in the tunnel and look at each other and go, you ready? And like Dennis Bergkamp said, Patrick Vieira, are you ready? And he go, yes, I am. You? And they would play for each other. For each other. And that's the other thing. They're so unselfish. All of them. So unselfish. The Invincibles had it as well. Thierry Henry would never take a shot if someone was better placed to score a goal. Never. And he was a record goal scorer for Arsenal. That tells you, that level of unselfishness. I think this team has that as well. Mm-hmm. I think they're playing for each other so much, and that comes from the camaraderie and from the friendship and ultimately from the manager again. So faith in each other, faith in the project, faith in the team. That's what it seems to be about. I love it. So I absolutely love it.
If you could, I'm loving this.
I'm just saying. I don't talk about. I do talk about it a lot, but this, I go around to a mate about once a month, and we sit and talk about football, and we do this. But I rarely do this outside of that because it's ridiculous to chat in this way because we're only a third of the way through the season. But
26 games left.
I'm watching, fucking hell. How does anyone even get a shot off? We've had 3 shots against us and they've all gone in. That's the only time anyone's had a shot against us. So, the work rate and it's very, very impressive.
How do you care about this conversation? We had it on the show as the season was starting, but world-class, elite, good. Do you care? Do you give a two flying?
No, I don't. I don't know. First of all, I don't know what they mean, really. And I don't. I mean, who cares? Is Bukayo Saka world-class? Yeah, I think so. I think he probably is. I mean, I'm always saying like the top 20 players in the world, one of the best 2 or 3 players in your position is what we're saying, right? In the world is world-class, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Bukayo is. Declan Rice is. Martin Zubimendi might be as well. By the way, ridiculous how good he is. Yuri Timber is. Gabriel and Saliba are. Yeah,
I had these from another show the other day, and it just so happens you're mentioning them, so I'm putting them back up. Pictures of all the players that Ian.
These are the guys. These are the guys, and they are world class. But I honestly, who cares? Who cares? Surely it's about what the players think of themselves, how they compose, how they hold themselves. Surely it's about that, and the way these boys are holding themselves. Yeah. So I don't actually care whether you're world class. What was it? World class, elite, or good?
Yeah, world class, elite, or good. World
elite class is world class, surely.
No, it's not. I think I think there's another step.
Have we got any goods in our team, or are they all elite? They're all elite, aren't they? All of them.
Okay, so that's a really good question because we were talking the other day about outgrowing players, even though I feel like don't, bite your tongue, people. But I was talking about how, we outgrew Zinchenko, we outgrew Emil Smith-Rowe, we've probably outgrown Gabriel Jesus, even can't rely on him just because of his injuries, despite the fact that he can come and be really good for 2 or 3 months. And some fans think, oh, have we outgrown Benjamin White? Do you capitalize on a player like that? Is he just good? Because Timber is, for me, I think Timber's the best right back in the world right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think Ben White is not first choice in the team, but I don't believe we've outgrown him. I think he's an absolutely brilliant footballer, and I loved his combination with Bukayo. And I think there will be times when he may play, but yeah, Timber's first choice. Gabriel Jesus, I'm quietly excited about the prospect of him coming back. I don't think he's been rushed back. I think, they know they've got one more chance with him. He has to play a season or two now without injury. So I think that they've taken as much time as they needed. I love his smile. So he's looking pretty happy on the training pitch. He's back playing football. Must be great for him. I think he's an unbelievable footballer, Gabriel Jesus, and he could be someone who could change things with the way his trickery and the way he does things. So I don't think we've outgrown anyone in this squad in the way that we maybe did outgrow Zinny, I think. Zinny looked a little bit off the pace in the last season. And the fact that, he was sat there with Raheem Sterling on the bench last year tells
Shocking,
you,
isn't it?
Well, that's what I'm saying. No, but I'm saying that's what Mikel thought. He didn't want to use him, really. So, no, I think we did outgrow Zinny, but no, of this squad, no, I think they're all elite and quite a few of them are world class.
And some of them are unsung. And
unsung. Mikel.
Yes.
What do you think of him?
I love him. I've from day one, I felt we've always been snobby as fans, right? We always want to sign. What fan doesn't? You always want the sexy player, the sexy signing. But our problem has been we've not had any pragmatism, in this team from the end of Wenger, maybe even Emery. But knowing Mikel's personality now and how he likes to manage, he never trusted the bench, really, like you said, Raheem Sterling and Zinchenko. And you didn't have, and I hate to use him because the first play that comes to mind, but we never had a Phil Neville type,
No.
Someone who could play. And now we have players who can play in a variety of different positions. But there's the unselfish player, the one that doesn't complain, doesn't moan, is probably better in the position that Mikel's evolved him into than what he was originally bought for. We were talking about this with Lee Judges last night. I don't think we win the Premier League or the Champions League without a player like Mikel Merino. Am I crazy?
Oh, no. I wasn't entirely sure when I first saw him. I'm not that sure that anyone was. But again, if we're talking about the way that the team is so unselfish and so playing for each other, he sort of embodies that to me. You want me to go and play up front? I only played for half an hour when I was like 14 or something. Yeah, go on, I'll give it a go. He scores 8 goals because he knows the basics and he's obviously a highly talented footballer, but he'll do what is asked of him. And he works so hard. I mean, the fourth goal against Spurs, he ran to Vicario was kicking it out, and he ran over there, and Vicario, instead of kicking it long, went to, I think it was Danzo, might have been someone else on the left for Spurs, on the right for Spurs. And Mikel Merino then trudged over there to try and get to him, and he passed it back to Vicario, and I saw it was quite late in the game, right? And then he ran back to try and put Vicario under pressure, and Vicario had to kick with his left foot, and it led to the goal because Declan Rice hooked it over, and there was Mikel Merino doing his work again, holding it up, and then playing a lovely pass around the corner to Trossard, who puts in as scores. And Mikel Merino will do that for 95 minutes. He will work his socks off, and he'll take the ball. He'll receive the ball in any area. It doesn't matter how many people are around him. He'll offer himself. He's always brave. Yeah, what a signing! What a signing! But Mikel, It turns out Mikel Arteta and Andrea Berta know more about football than me, as it turns out. And I'm so happy about that, because what they're doing is splendid. And Mikel Merino is a huge part of that. And I think also off the pitch as well, he seems like a nice guy. I mean, it's what do I know? What do I know?
Yeah.
He does seem like a good guy. He's always got a smile on his face. And you think, yeah, he seems to fit in fine there. So unsung, I think, yes, unsung. It's just, the fact is, when we do Handbrake, each week we're sort of picking 3 or 4 players to talk about. We could talk about Declan Rice almost every week, because he's incredible. But I think sometimes you just go, okay, we don't often talk about someone like Mikel Merino, or Mosquera we talked about earlier in the season, or Hincapié, who came in the North London derby, and nobody really said that much about him. But, he filled in for Gabriel, and we were under no pressure. All right, Tottenham didn't really have an attack. I think I could have done all right centre off on Sunday.
We'll find out more tomorrow.
We'll find out more. We will absolutely find out more tomorrow, right, when Harry Kane is on him. But, yeah, it's a squad game now more than ever. And this squad is the way that they are working for each other. And Merino is a huge part of that. Of course he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Graham Hunter said when we signed him to me, because it was a bit like you at first, you weren't convinced. I think a lot of Arsenal fans weren't convinced. And by the way, he loved Zubi and Mikel Merino and talked about them as men.
Yes.
He's having spent so much time, of course, covering La Liga, just adores them both, right? Characters a lot as well to do with our recruitment. But he said, he goes, don't panic. He will have a moment for you guys, and he will become very important, and you guys will look back on this and you'll be like, yes. And he was right. He was so right, because I mean, last season we don't get to the Champions League semi-final without him. Mikel was brave to say, let's throw Merino up front. You talked about your fear being Declan. Any other fears that you have other than maybe losing Declan Rice?
I mean, I have to say, I feel I'm duty bound to say, as a rational person, that anything can happen in football, right? I mean, we know it. We've seen it so many times, and it's a long season. But I spent a train journey the other week trying to come up with reasons that Arsenal won't win the title. And I'm finding it hard. I was finding it very hard to come up with any, because, the whole thing seems to be about set pieces. And that's all so important now. Well, we're pretty good at them, right? And when Gabriel gets back, we've got the single best person in the Premier League. Virgil van Dijk might be the other one, I guess. So dangerous, but at set pieces, he's absolutely incredible, Gabriel. So we're really good at them. We've got an amazing array of attacking talent. So, no, we've got enough. I think we've got enough to do whatever needs to be done to win most games. We've got the best defence in the country, and by that I mean the entire 11 plus the subs that come on. So look at those guys, look at those defenders. Ricardo Calafiori, we haven't even mentioned him, quietly just playing left back and central midfield at the same time. For some who knew that could be a thing. So I mean, it's ridiculous. William Saliba is the second best centre half in our team, and that, I think, we've got to remember what that is as well, what's going on there. We've got an outstanding goalkeeper who's got, according to Jurien Timber, the best right foot of the club. We've got, like you say, the best right back in the world. We've got a lot going for us. Fears, I can't really see the point, Sophie. I really just cannot wait for the next Arsenal game. I just can't wait to watch them again and go on there. Because every challenge they've had, and let's not forget, they've had an incredibly difficult start to the season. We've had a lot of injuries. Yeah, we've got a squad, but we've lost our captain. We've lost a lot of players, most of our front line. And we've won at Old Trafford, and we've won at Newcastle, having gone behind. And we spanked Atletico Madrid. And we got a draw against Man City when it looked like we were going to lose it. All the challenges they've had, the boys have gone, yeah, bring it on. So Yeah. Am I worried? No, not really. I can't see the point
Isn't
in
it
doing it.
weird?
Well, it is a little weird, but do you feel the same way?
Yes.
In the
Like,
main, I mean, you understand the Declan Rice thing, right? Because I think he's a unique player, and I don't think anyone else. I'm not sure there's another player we could get. It's like City losing Rodri last year. They
100
were a lesser team without him.
100%, and also because it's proven, like when Mosquera stepped in for Saliba at Anfield, didn't miss a beat. Shaky for 2 seconds, didn't miss a beat. And Capier, this player, I tell you, he's going to be very special
for
us, right? So you see that Trossard, Martinelli, Madueke, or Eze on the left. Sure, fine, take your pick. Odegaard out, Eze comes in, scoring goals, not missing a beat, right? Madueke was doing well on the right. Just so happened we got lucky Saka coming back at the same time. I'm not saying they're on the same level, but I also think that Noni is very underrated and is, has done well for us already. So yeah, you're right. Like, it's proven that we've, plugged and played in those other positions, but especially now with the relationship that Zubi and Rice have, he would be the one that would send shivers down, your spine if we were to miss him. But
he's the guy, really. But really, other than that, no, I'm not worried because they look solid, and it's great. It's great to see them play this way, and I think my job now, and I think the fans' job is just to cheer them on. Don't get frustrated if things don't work out. That first half hour against Tottenham, it was a bit frustrating. It wasn't quite happening, but they were just probing and they were doing what they needed to do and trying to get him behind them. And then it worked out, and suddenly the game's out of reach of them. And that's what we seem to be doing. Even the Sunderland game, I felt they were probably tired. They had a week of travelling to Burnley and then Prague and then Sunderland. And I think it caught up with them in that last minute. But you know what was brilliant about that? And I don't think enough people have talked about this. After Sunderland equalised, and we had more of a defensive shape at that point, we still fashioned another chance. We still made another chance. Yeah, it didn't go in, but you saw the desire of the team to go to the well again. And that's what they seem to be doing. So am I worried? No.
I have one fear and one fear only, although it will only show its head in April, May, right? Which is why I think it's actually really important that we win the League Cup this year because of this reason. I think I'm seeing a totally different team mentally so far this season, Ian. We talked about it a little bit at the top of the show. My fear is truly showing you've turned the corner when the spotlight is on you in those last couple months or those last few weeks, which is why winning the League Cup is, number one, it'd be great to win it since we haven't done the early 90s. Number two is you win something and they taste that and they get excited by it. They learn how to win together. They get that feeling. It's like, my God, if this feels really good, how does it feel to win the bloody Premier League? So my fear is mentality at the most important moment. And that's PTSD probably.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's, I guess, well, look, I suppose in the end, my feeling about that is we'll see, won't we? We'll see. I mean, the League Cup, yes. Not even sure that. I think, who we got in the next round, the League Cup?
Crystal Palace.
We got Crystal Palace. That's right. Not an easy game.
Not an easy game.
I'd expect us to beat them. But you know what? We could have been a goal or two behind against Brighton before we asserted ourselves. Kepa made a couple of good saves in that game. One-on-ones. You think.
It was great.
Yeah. So, we have to ride our luck a little bit in the League Cup. And I think that can go wrong. But I think when push comes to shove, I mean, 2 seasons ago, we beat Porto on penalties in the round of 16 in the Champions League. And that felt like a huge moment. That felt like one of the biggest moments of the season because we thought, no, we can get now. Now we're going to get to one of the big boys, right? And we got beaten by Bayern Munich. But, yeah, we're in a quarterfinal of a Champions League. The next season, they get to the quarterfinals without any problems and they spank Real Madrid. And you think, oh, they've taken a step up there, haven't they? Definitely. They've moved forward a bit. Then they ran into the eventual winners, PSG, who, as you said, we could have beaten. This is a team that has been learning and growing. And again, it goes back to this sort of 5-6 year plan that Mikel Arteta has had. And I can't see how much closer we can get now without winning something. So, yeah, we'll see in April, won't we?
Okay, so before you go, before we let everyone go off to watch the football, hopefully Barcelona spanking Chelsea, we are playing the Blues at the weekend, but we do have some Germans to take care of, a German team, I should say. Not everyone who plays for Bayern Munich is German. Don't get me in trouble, everyone. What do you do, Ian? What does your starting 11 look like tomorrow? How do you approach the rest of the week with the London derby? Some fans saying the 3 points is more important than beating Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
Mikel wants to win every game, but what are you doing, Ian?
Who am I picking from who's available? I mean,
what are you doing tomorrow night, for example, then?
Well, yeah. I mean, I know what you're saying.
Are you going to rest Calafiori and place Miles? Are you going to rest Timber? And
Calafiori doesn't look like he needs a rest, nor does Timber, by the way. None of them really do. Declan Rice always looks a bit knackered at the end of the game, and then 3 days later he's covering about 15 kilometres or something. So, I mean, maybe a couple of changes, maybe Martinelli up front instead of Trossard because Martinelli's really good in Europe. I mean, I wouldn't make too many changes. I think after when we played Palace in the league, we played Atletico Madrid in the week, and everyone was saying, "Oh, you know what? The Palace game is more important than Atletico." So he then goes out and spanks Atletico 4-0 to go. No. We wanted everyone to know how good we are. I think he'll play a very strong team tomorrow, and I think he'll be a bit gutted if he doesn't win. But I don't think Sunday will really be much on his mind. I think he'll play an incredibly strong team because if we can beat Bayern Munich, we are then the best team in Europe at that point. And you go, okay, everyone understands that now. Then, well, the best team in Europe are going to play Chelsea on Sunday. Well, they should beat them, shouldn't they, really? I think it's more about that mentality than, maybe we'll rest a few here and there. I know some of them have been away playing internationals, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not saying they've had a break, but they didn't look tired at the weekend.
Yeah.
So let them play.
And, people are now talking about, before it was like, oh, are you scared about Liverpool? And then it was Manchester City. And then Man United were going to make this run and come back. And now it's Chelsea, right? Because they're the closest to us. Are you worried about the London derby? It's our second London derby in the space of, we've got another one coming up after that with Brentford, and we've got Natalie Sawyer on next week to talk about that, squaddies. Any concerns? No? I mean, I shouldn't even ask you because you've pretty much told me you're fearless at this point, Batman.
I don't have any concerns. I think Mikel, I trust the process. So in truth, I really do, because I'm watching the evidence in front of my eyes suggests that the process is working. Go on in. Go and beat Bayern Munich, and then go and beat Chelsea at the weekend, because they seem to find new levels. This team, they keep finding new levels, and this is a team with loads of players missing. Let's not forget. I mean, what reason does anyone think that we're going to get worse? What, that it can't go on? Why not? We went 49 unbeaten a few years ago. Why can't we do that?
I don't think I've heard anyone say it like that. We've got so many players missing. What do people think, that we're going to get worse? Like when they come back, it's...
No, Madueke could step in for 40 minutes. He was quite good, wasn't he, that bloke, before Saka was about. Gyökeres, Havertz is back. I've forgotten all about Kai. Kai was pretty good, wasn't he? Plus he bulked up. He looked great in pre-season. Martinelli. Oh, he's great in Europe, Martinelli. He could come on. I mean...
Odegaard with the buzz cut.
Martin Odegaard, who might not even get in the team at the moment. Come on, people. Stop. Miles Lewis-Skelly can come back in. Do you see him against Atletico Madrid running through their midfield and laying it on a plate for Martinelli with a pass that has only been bettered by Phil Foden to Eberici Eze, right? In the last England international, right? And people going on about that 4-yard pass. Eze has stepped in. Look how good he is. We're not going to get worse. We're not going to get worse. So, no, Sophie, to answer your question, I'm not worried about that lot. Chelsea, they're a good team. Well, we're better than them. Listen, there will be bumps in the road. I understand there will be bumps. We can't win every game, but how many are we going to lose? Is what I think.
Honestly, brilliantly put. Really, really, really well said. And also, you know, for a comedian, and comedians are supposed to kind of like, you know, not be as sprightly as they are on stage, off stage. You've really made my day here, Mr. Stone. You've really kind of reinforced kind of what I've been thinking, but too afraid maybe to really allow myself to go there fully.
I mean, just, you know what? Dive in, people. This is the best, one of the best we've ever seen. Let's have fun with it. Let's not spend the entire season going, oh dear, what could go wrong? Fuck that.
I love it. Right. Tell everyone what you're doing, because you got a tour happening. Let the squaddies know where they can find you, what you're up to.
Yeah, I am doing a tour, looking for the wow. Incidentally, which I feel I'm getting at the moment at the Arsenal. Tottenham 4-1. That is the wow. That's the sort of stuff I'm looking for. Yeah, I'm gigging around the country starting January. Mid-January, 40 dates. You can come to my website, Ian Stone Comedian, and come and find a town near you and come and see me talk shit. I do talk a little bit about Arsenal, not too much. There are little bits in the show.
I love it. You're getting a lot of love from the live chat, and I know you're going to get a lot of love when people listen to this on replay as well. So let us know what you guys think in the comments. Ian is brilliant, and they want you to come back already. So maybe,
all right.
Maybe we could get you
June
back
the 1st. You do well June the 1st. I don't know.
After pictures of you at the parade have gone viral.
I'm getting a bit chilly now, to be honest with you. I'm just where is everyone?
Yeah, love it. And hi to our friends at Guns and Yellow Ribbons. Were in the house as well, talking about how he listened to your first podcast and said something about El Presidente. I don't know what that's about, but
that's the Tuesday Club, which I haven't
the
done in a
Tuesday
while.
Club, yeah, of course.
Keith is a legend, you know, and I see him at football, and I love him. And yeah, we're all. I mean, we've been going a long time, all of us, and you rarely get things like this. So I'm just,
you know, Handbrake off is so there now, I almost forget. And how can you forget about, you know, Tuesday Club and stuff like that? Yeah. Right, Mr. Stone, thank you. Go and enjoy the football. Squaddies, love you lots, like Arsenal shots. See you tomorrow after the Bayern Munich game. Thank you, Ian, at ease, everyone. And don't forget to tell your loved ones you love them. You know the rules of the school. See ya.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.